Good evening and welcome to the Emma L. Bowen Humanitarian Awards Red Carpet Preview, brought to you this evening by Riverton Square and A&E Real Estate. I'm your host for the red carpet portion of the event, Christiana Pena, and on behalf of Bowen, we are so glad to have you with us this evening. Tonight, we honor 6 incredible individuals who embody the spirit of Emma L. Bowen. As we count down to the awards presentation, we'll share a preview of tonight's gala, introduce you to our patron sponsor, Riverton Square and A&E Real Estate, listen to the beautiful sounds of harpist Alfred Johnson Reagans, and enjoy a special demonstration on how to make the signature drink of the 2020 Humanitarian Awards, Spoonbread Punch, from Miss Mamie's Spoonbread 2. All proceeds from tonight's event will benefit the Emma L. Bowen Community Service Center, one of the city's leading community-based organizations, serving over 30,000 clients annually through its therapeutic preschool for children with behavioral and developmental issues, outpatient mental health services for children and adolescents, programs for adults and seniors with mental health and dependency recovery, a 20-bed residential chemical abuse recovery facility, Able House, and a food pantry program that serves over 21,000 packages of food annually. In these difficult times, your support is what enables Bowen to continue providing valuable services to all who walk through their doors. Tonight, you will learn about the center's founder, Emma Bowen, and her efforts to make the center a reality. And you will hear incredible stories of recovery for 2 Bowen Center clients. Throughout the evening, we'll provide you with a link where you can easily, securely make donations. Follow the instructions on your screen, text Emma 2020 to 44321. Every little bit helps, and we thank you in advance. We're so grateful for your support of the Emma Bowen Center. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank the co-chairs for this year's event, the Honorable David N. Dinkins, the 106th Mayor of the City of New York, and Tony Award-winning choreographer, Bill T. Jones. Both gentlemen are past Humanitarian Award winners, and we thank them for their efforts to make tonight possible. We'd also like to thank Riverton Square and A&E Real Estate, our grand patron sponsor for the 2020 Humanitarian Awards.
Good evening. I'm Douglas Eisenberg, co-founder with my wife, Wendy, of A&E Real Estate, owner of the historic Riverton Square complex in Harlem. Wendy and I are delighted to be sponsoring the 2020 Bowen Humanitarian Awards and to take part in this virtual red carpet preview. For over 3 decades, the Emma Bowen Community Service Center, named for an iconic advocate and founder, Emma Bowen, has provided crucial mental health services to the Harlem community. This non-for-profit's profound commitment to ensuring that its community receives high-quality mental health care is just one of the many reasons we are so proud to be partnering with Bowen this evening.
We would like to take a moment to talk about Riverton Square, located in central Harlem at 135th Street and Madison Avenue. When A&E purchased this prestigious residential complex in 2016, we knew of its great legacy and the promise it had always embodied in Harlem. We also knew of its famous landscaped courtyards, convenient access to transportation, neighborhood shopping, and vital healthcare and educational institutions, as well as its vibrant artistic and cultural activity. This storied residential community has always been a truly remarkable place for its residents to call home. 2 years ago, Douglas and I dedicated the renovated Honorable David and Joyce Dinkins Riverton Center in the complex in honor of 2 of Riverton's most famous residents, David Dinkins and First Lady of the City of New York, Mrs. Joyce Dinkins.
As a young man, I had the honor of serving in Mayor Dinkins' administration. I traveled the city with the mayor and learned from him that every neighborhood is unique and that every corner of this great city deserves respect, dedication to creating local pathways to opportunity, and the highest level of public service. Wendy and I mourn the recent passing of our friend, Mrs. Dinkins, a loving wife, mother, grandmother, and wonderful First Lady of the City of New York. Our hearts are with you, Mr. Mayor, and your family. Today, the Dinkins Community Center provides Riverton residents an array of programming for young people and seniors, delivered by experienced community-based organizations like Harlem Grown and JASA, right in Riverton's backyard. Wendy's and my commitment to the Harlem community is stronger than ever, especially during these challenging times. Led by powerful partners like the Emma Bowen Community Service Center, Harlem and New York City can get through this crisis and move forward to a more equitable future.
Tonight is about honoring 6 extraordinary individuals who have helped thousands of New Yorkers, youngsters, adults, and the elderly, to achieve extraordinary outcomes. This includes finding loving foster homes for children, working with people with disabilities, motivating New York City students through tutoring and mentoring, finding meaningful employment for formerly incarcerated young men, establishing a program for 18,000 Harlem and New York City kids to enjoy free and low-cost gymnastics, and working tirelessly throughout the pandemic to provide desperately needed medical care.
To all the honorees this evening, we send you our heartfelt congratulations. Very much appreciate all that you do to help fellow New Yorkers and make our city the brilliant, kind, and resilient place it is.
Thank you, and enjoy the gala.
Thank you, Douglas and Wendy Eisenberg, for sponsoring tonight's event and for your commitment to the Harlem community. Next, we have a very special treat for you. Alfre Johnson Reagans has frequently donated her talent to promoting fundraising endeavors for various charitable organizations throughout the city, including her church, Grace Congregational Church. For the past 11 years, Alfre has served on the board of directors of the Central Harlem Meals on Wheels, now known as the Wahlberg Center. She is recipient of the Hattie McDaniels Award for Excellence in the Performing Arts, given by the Delta Nu Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Inc. Tonight, with us to perform a medley of songs, including Ebb Tide, Shangri-La, Misty, and Don't Get Around Much Anymore, please join me in welcoming Alfre Johnson Reagans. Thank you so much, Alfred, for that beautiful performance. So now, as we continue to draw closer to the start of the official virtual gala, we'd like to take a moment to thank our additional sponsors for this evening. Desire and Company CPAs, our partner sponsor, and our fellow sponsors, the Emma L. Bowen Foundation for Minority Interests in Media, Ghetto and DeMilly Inc., PepsiCo, Ponce Bank, TEC Document Solutions, and Tigress Financial Partners. We'd also like to thank everyone who purchased tickets for tonight's gala, as well as those who may have been unable to join us but have sent a contribution in their stead. We can't thank you enough, all of you, for your support. So we're getting close to the start of tonight's affair, honoring humanitarian medal recipients Janice Huff, Mark Goldsmith, and Cynthia DiBartolo. And of course, our Community Leadership Award honorees, Wendy Hilliard, Dr. Uche Blackstock, and Dr. Bob Lee. And speaking of Dr. Bob Lee, he's actually serving double duty tonight as an honoree as well as the Master of Ceremonies for the virtual gala. As we show our gratitude tonight to all of our honorees, we're reminded of the Bowen Center's responsibility to uplift others in our Harlem community in times of difficulty. And right now, as restaurants across New York City navigate this difficult time, we are delighted to include in our virtual event one of Harlem's most beloved eateries, Miss Mamie's Spoonbread 2. Established by Norma Jean Darden, Miss Mamie's Spoonbread 2 has been serving up the best authentic Southern cuisine in New York City since 1997. The iconic restaurant has drawn numerous dignitaries, including 3 U.S. presidents, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. Ms. Mamie's theme, "You don't have to go home for home cooking," rings true with the rich culture of Southern food, such as tried and true classics like baked turkey wings, homemade meatloaf, Louisiana catfish, and amazing desserts like red velvet cake and, of course, peach cobbler. The Spoonbread Punch has long been a favorite of those who have eaten at Miss Mamie's Spoonbread 2, and we are very thrilled that tonight we're able to call it the signature drink for the Humanitarian Awards. Recently, we had the fortunate opportunity to visit the restaurant located on West 110th Street in Morningside Heights, Harlem, to get a firsthand demonstration on how to make the Spoonbread Punch from Ms. Darden herself. So if you haven't already, now is the time to use the recipe that was sent to you ahead of this evening to make a batch of the punch.
Hi, I'm Norma Jean Darden here at Miss Mamie's Spoonbread 2 in Harlem. And I can't tell you how happy I am to be a part of the Humanitarian Awards. And I'm about to share with you our secret spoonbread recipe for punch. This is the Aunt Norma special, and it's full of wonderful flavors. We have here our orange juice, and we're going to pour in maybe half a pitcher of orange juice. Now we're going to make it nice and rosy with our cranberry juice. And if that's not enough, we're going to add just a little splash of pineapple juice. That does it. Now to give us a deeper flavor, in go maybe 3, maybe 4 cinnamon sticks. To give us a bit of effervescence, ginger ale, but not too much. And now we have these beautiful oranges cut in segments and studded with cloves. And they're just going to float on top, and the more the merrier. And they will be our garnish when we pour it into our glasses. This is a very refreshing, soothing kind of a drink. Very mellow. And there you have it, Spoonbread Punch. Drink up.
Join me in raising a glass of Spoonbread Punch and toast to the 2020 Humanitarian honorees. Now, please enjoy the 2020 Emma L. Bowen Humanitarian Awards, a virtual affair. Cheers to everyone.
Good evening, and welcome to the Emma L. Bowen 2020 Humanitarian Awards virtual gala. We are so pleased to be with you tonight, and I want to begin by thanking everyone for being with us. I am Patricia Jordan, Board Chair of the Emma L. Bowen Community Service Center. And before we begin, I want to thank our patron sponsors, Wendy and Douglas Eisenberg of Rivington Square. We appreciate your support, and we're looking forward to working with you in the future. Oftentimes, we are asked, who was Emma Bowen? Well, Mrs. Bowen was a remarkable individual. She had a very charismatic personality, had a great sense of humor, and she always had this great ability to communicate with anyone, regardless of their stature in life. Emma spent all of her adult years working to assist other people, to bring about change. She was always there to stand up and fight for those who did not have a voice or who could not fight for themselves. Emma also had a very unique way of getting things done. She never protested in the street to bring about change, but what she did, she always had her discussions and her negotiations with the leadership and in the corporate boardrooms. She also had a very special way of planning. She was a strategic planner, and she was also great at negotiating. She understood the art of negotiating. I never remember being in a meeting with Emma when she did not accomplish 95% of her agenda. And then Emma always found a way to go back and pick up that remaining 5%. Emma had two interests, the media and mental health. And Emma always saw the relationship between mental health and the media. In fact, going back to about 1969, Emma, working with the community, established Black Citizens for a Fair Media, BCFM. And there she took on the enormous task of challenging the television stations around their programming practices, around the training practices, employment, and very importantly, how the images of Afro-Americans and people of color were portrayed by the media. And Emma always saw that that was detrimental to one's mental health. After a series of negotiations and meetings through BCFM and Emma's workings, there were written agreements established with all of the television stations here in the city. And there were also working agreements that met every quarter for a progress report so that we would know what was taking place. As a result of what Emma and BCFM did, there was an increase in the number of Black reporters, a change in the programming that you saw that provided programs that were of interest to the community, and they still exist, one being Positively Black. There were also positions created for directors of community affairs. Those positions still exist. In fact, now they're called vice presidents of community affairs. Emma also took it to another step some many years later, where she joined with ABC Capital Cities and the United Church of Christ, and they formed what is now known as the Emma L. Bowen Foundation for Minority Interests in Media. And some 30 years later, there are some 75 media partners. There have been about 1,400 young people of color who have received multi-year paid internships and received training in all facets of the media, including technology. They also have opportunity to access employment. The foundation has as its mission to diversify the media. So that was part of Emma's legacy as to how she brought about change in the media. She had many, many accomplishments, and she affected so many lives. She made a difference in the lives of thousands of individuals and families. And tonight, she would be very proud that we are honoring 6 incredible individuals who not only epitomized the practices of Emma and her philosophy, but they also are making a difference in their own ways to affect other people's lives for the better. Well, I'm honored tonight to have the opportunity to present the first of the 6 awards to an incredible individual. His name is Dr. Bob Lee.
Dr. Bob Lee began his career in 1979 after receiving his BA and MA in communications from New York Institute of Technology, where he was a DJ for 88.7 WTNY Radio. He later advanced to music director, program director, and eventually general manager of WTNY Radio. In 1980, he joined WBLS for an internship before moving on to KISS FM for his start in commercial broadcasting. He would soon return to WBLS, where he has had a rich and diverse career. From 1986 to 1994, Dr. Bob was a DJ on the weekend edition of WBLS's renowned program, The Quiet Storm, and for several years provided live reports on the morning show from various WBLS-sponsored community events. Over the years, he has interviewed musical greats, including Stevie Wonder, Patti LaBelle, Luther Vandross, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, Wynton Marsalis, Whitney Houston, and many others. He can be heard on air every day with his Daily Dose series, tackling health issues which affect the community, as well as at midnight every Sunday through Thursday, spinning today's R&B and classic soul until 5 a.m. In addition to his on-air roles, Dr. Bob serves as the Community Affairs Director for WBLS, where he has developed strong ties to many local and national politicians and public figures, including President Bill Clinton, Mayor Michael Bloomberg, Mayor David N. Dinkins, and Bronx Borough President Adolfo Carrion. Dr. Bob hosts the weekly live television program Open, which broadcasts on BronxNet, a cable television station serving the Bronx and Upper Manhattan. He is a founder and board member of the Make the Grade Foundation, a not-for-profit organization that provides mentoring and aid to school children. He also helps college students interested in radio careers by serving as a mentor for Table for Two, a weekly music program which broadcasts from WLIU 88.1 FM radio in Brooklyn. Dr. Bob is also involved with corporate speaking and promotional work for businesses with an interest in the welfare of the community.
What a wonderful bio. And the inscription on Dr. Bob Lee's crystal reads, the M.L. Bowen Community Leadership Award in appreciation for your many years with the Golden Voice for New York City Airways and providing a commitment to always mentoring and aiding school-age children in New York City. This award is presented to Dr. Bob Lee for the incredible work that he continues to do. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Lee.
Thank you so much for honoring me with this wonderful award, the Emma L. Bowen Community Leadership Award. Pat, tonight we celebrate the Humanitarian Awards, but I can't thank you enough for letting me be a part of this wonderful event and let me share in this space and time with you. I love to work with organizations who are doing special things in the community. And since you invited me into the home here, I've seen firsthand the wonderful work that you guys are doing. So I accept this award, and I thank you so much. I have an attitude of gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, and I am truly honored. Thank you. Pat, tonight we celebrate the Humanitarian Awards, but I'd like to first talk about the person whose vision and dedication made it possible for us to be here, Emma Bowen. How did she make all of this happen?
As I said earlier, Emma had a fantastic way of bringing about change. She had a unique way of doing this. The mental health center that exists today, if we roll back the years in 1969, 1970, that was when Emma and her good colleague, the late Mr. William Bill Hatcher, became aware that the city was planning a mental health center in, and the planning and the project implementation of it would be carried out by the Columbia College of Physicians and Surgeons. And when Emma and Bill became aware that this was being done without any involvement of planning by the community, they became involved in a different way. They worked with the community, and there were a series of negotiations and meetings, including petitioning the federal, state, and the city. And they were finally awarded a charter that would give them the opportunity to plan for a mental health center here in Harlem. And that is what happened.
Yeah, and you know, go ahead, go on.
As a result of that, it served as the catalyst for the creation of the Upper Manhattan Mental Health Center, incorporated in 1986. And Ms. Bowen was the founding president. This organization name was changed in order to recognize and to honor our founder, Emma Bowen. It was changed after her passing and now called the Emma L. Bowen Community Service Center.
Yes, and you know, Mrs. Bowen spent her life trying to bring equality to all. Given the state of our nation, and what do you think she would be focused on at this point?
Mrs. Bowen would be focused on the same areas she always focused on. That would be fighting racial injustices, fighting social injustices, fighting social inequities, and trying to bring about change, not so much on the streets and protesting, but working with leadership in various levels and working in the corporate boardrooms. She would be very concerned, especially about the inequities that we see now with the large numbers of Afro-Americans and other people of color who have suffered because of the pandemic.
Well, Pat, you know, you're doing a tremendous job, an incredible job, not only expanding her vision for the Bowen Center, but more importantly, you've kept her spirit alive, and that's important. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you again for this tremendous honor. I really, really appreciate it, and thank you so much. Good evening and welcome to the 2020 Humanitarian Awards. It's a virtual affair gala, and tonight we celebrate the accomplishments of 6 incredible honorees, of which I'm very honored to be amongst one of them. We will also hear from 2 incredible women who will share their inspiring experiences as Bowen Center clients. You know, in between it all, there'll be music performances from the incredible, I don't know if you've seen them out during Harlem Week up in Harlem, the Willie Mack Harlem Jazz Band featuring Antoinette Adams, as well as a very special performance by harpist Alfred Johnson Reagans, who many of us saw during the red carpet preview. Speaking of which, congratulations, she's in the house, to Mrs. Christiana Pena for a fantastic hosting job. We thank you, we can't thank you enough. Before we get started, we wanted to extend our deepest condolences to a Bowen Center friend and past Humanitarian Award honoree, and one of tonight's co-chairs, Mayor David N. Dinkins on the recent passing of his wonderful wife, Joyce B. Dinkins. Our thoughts are with you and your family during this difficult time. Mrs. Dinkins was one of the finest first ladies for the city of New York, and she will be truly and greatly missed. It is now my honor to introduce to you our second honoree of the evening, a truly remarkable woman.
Cynthia DiBartolo has over 30 years of accomplishments working in finance. She spent more than 2 decades aligned with Fortune 500 companies, driving achievements in revenue growth, brand expansion, and new offerings. Her ability to set the overall vision and strategy for a company propelled her career at Merrill Lynch, Smith Barney Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, and Bear Stearns. Ms. DiBartolo's impressive track record in sales, compliance, and risk management contributes significantly to the firm's profitability. After courageously battling head and neck cancer in 2009, Ms. DiBartolo founded Tigris Financial Partners, a woman-owned and operated financial services firm sensitive to people with disabilities. Tigris is a fully licensed investment bank, broker-dealer, and registered investment advisor dedicated to the principles of diversity and inclusion. Tigris offers proprietary research, investment banking, sales and trading, capital markets, asset management, and wealth management services. Ms. DiBartolo is committed to paying it forward. She is a former member of the White House Business Council for the Obama administration and former senior advisor to the United Nations for Project China. Currently, she serves as chairperson of the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. Ms. DiBartolo serves as chairperson of the Rainbow Push Coalition Steering Committee for Financial Services under the appointment of Reverend Jesse L. Jackson. She is the founder and chairperson of the Diversity Broker-Dealer and Asset Management Coalition, an advocacy and thought leadership group that strives for best practices in diversity and inclusion. Ms. DiBartolo graduated with honors from Wagner College with a BA in Political Science and earned a Juris Doctorate from Villanova University, where she currently serves on the board of consultors for the Charles Widger School of Law. Ms. DiBartolo was admitted to the State Bar Associations of Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York.
Good evening, and thank you to the Emma Bowen Foundation for recognizing me with one of these distinctive humanitarian medals. I want to thank you for the work that you've done in improving the lives of countless individuals. It was once said by Winston Churchill that we make a living by what we get, and we make a life by what we give. I hope tonight inspires all of us to give more of ourselves and improve the lives of those around us. Thank you.
Cynthia, look, I was trying to show you this.
Yes,
We share
thank
something in
you.
common.
Thank you so very
Congratulations.
much.
Thank
It
you for
really is
joining us
quite
tonight.
an honor this evening, and I have enormous debt of gratitude to Patricia, to all the administrators, the board, and the volunteers who give countless hours to the Emma Bowen Foundation and its organization. Honestly, tonight, when I look at this medal, I don't really think of it just for me. We're in a new day and age, and I really accept this for so many first responders who are out there fighting on behalf of all of us to keep us healthy during COVID times. And I would be remiss having 2 sisters who are nurses and 2 nieces who work in the
Yes.
hospitals to not recognize the efforts of all of these first line responders. And God bless them for what they're doing. They are the humanitarians of 2020.
Yeah, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Now, you have accomplished a great deal throughout your career, worked with numerous Fortune 500 companies, and now you're running your own successful company. Where did that drive, that hard work?
You know, I
and
call it grit
dedication
and
originate
resilience.
from?
You know, resilience is your R factor. And you don't really know you have it until you're challenged with a difficulty in your life, whether it be health related, professional, career related, family related, resiliency is that character trait that allows you to pick yourself up when you fall and start again. It allows you to have endurance with direction to figure out where you want to go and how you're going to get there. And that, for me, was such an important part because in 2009, I lost everything and had to figure my life out again. I couldn't speak for 2 years till a tongue was reconstructed from both my arms. And I realized, you know what? I need to be a voice for other people.
I was going to ask. I was going to ask you, in the early 2000s, you battled head and neck cancer, and you talked openly about this, and a lot of people have learned from you. You've talked openly, and I'm sure that you helped a lot of people with this, and they heard your story. Why was it so important for you to share?
The story is part of a journey because we all become victims in life at some point to something. And we have a choice to be a victim or a victor when that happens. And I hope that my story inspires individuals to be a victor because you have it within yourself to make a decision of how you want to live your life, right? Is life something that's going to lead you, or are you going to lead your own life? And I had to make that choice. And when I learned to speak, and during that whole time, I had to learn how to speak again with a reconstructed tongue. I thought there are so many tens of thousands of people in this world they're marginalized because they're voiceless, not because they don't have a tongue. It's because they don't get heard. So with the grace of God, I pledged I was going to use my voice to help the voiceless and really mend the torn social fabric of this country.
My God. Cynthia, thank you so much, and God bless you. You're a fantastic inspiration. Congratulations.
Diana Denny was reluctant to come to the Bowen Center after years of behavioral problems exacerbated by an escalating reliance on drinking and recreational drugs. She had difficulty letting down her internal defenses to allow others to help her. Diana had dropped out of high school and became involved in illegal gambling, which led to involvement with the criminal justice system. Her third arrest resulted in a 6-month sentence in jail. Fortunately, Diana found herself before a judge near the completion of her sentence who recognized Diana's need for social service support to help her avoid revisiting old habits of substance abuse upon release. But Diana's anger and defensiveness remained an obstacle as she attended outpatient treatment programs. Even she didn't fully understand her internal reflex for confrontation. As Diana re-entered her community and returned to work, she saw the presence of Bowen's Rainbow Club near her place of employment. In this instance, curiosity overruled confrontation, and she allowed herself to explore and ask questions to learn more about what Rainbow Club, the Bowen Center's adult rehabilitation program for individuals with mental illness, might offer her for supportive services. Diana soon met Robert Crawford, a peer advocate at Rainbow Club. She recalled Robert's frank observations and push for her to seek help. "There is something wrong," he told her, "and you should go to the Bowen Center where they can help you." Diana acted on Robert's advice and, following an evaluation, began to work with Bowen doctors to understand her mental health diagnosis and develop a plan for medication that helped her to feel less angry and anxious. The Bowen Center connected her with a therapist to provide ongoing mental health support so that Diana could continue to learn about her underlying causes for her behaviors and how to effectively manage them in her everyday life. Diana's life has improved dramatically. Today, she is pursuing an associate's degree after earning her GED and continues to be a member of Bowen Center's Rainbow Club, where she finds a respectful and comfortable community of people who, like herself, are working at competitive wage jobs, going to school, and being a part of the community in which they live. Diana's commitment to the Rainbow Club did not go unnoticed by the Bowen Center, and she was hired as a certified New York State peer specialist, just like Robert Crawford, the Rainbow Club staff member and alumni who encouraged her to seek the center's help.
Go Diana, fantastic job, extraordinary story too. A fine example of what Emma Bowen often referred to as problems of living. We're so glad Diana was able to get a fresh restart thanks to the Bowen Center's holistic approach to treatment. And we thank her for sharing her story with us tonight.
Wendy Hilliard is a trailblazer in women's, Olympic, and community sports. She is in the USA Gymnastics Hall of Fame and was the first African American and gymnast to become the president of the Women's Sports Foundation. Ms. Hilliard was the first African American to represent the U.S. in rhythmic gymnastics and competed in 3 world championships and the 1984 Olympic trials. She is a master of sport coach and in 1996 founded the Wendy Hilliard Gymnastics Foundation, which has provided free and low-cost gymnastics for over 18,000 youth in Harlem. In 2016, she expanded to her hometown, Detroit. Ms. Hilliard was an athlete representative on the U.S. Olympic Committee and served as athlete chair on the executive committee of USA Gymnastics. She has been a TV commentator for many sports and gymnastics events, including the Olympic Games. She has performed on numerous television shows and tours with the world's top gymnasts and has performed on Broadway. Ms. Hilliard was Director of Sports for NYC 2012, the U.S. Olympic bid city vying for the 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games. The U.S. Olympic Committee awarded her the Rings of Gold for her work with youth and Olympic sports. Ms. Hilliard graduated with honors from NYU. Her board service includes the Armory Foundation, the President's Committee of the Women's Sports Foundation, advisory board member of the Black Women in Sports Foundation, and advisory board member of Power Play NYC. Ms. Hilliard resides in Harlem with her husband Robert and sons Kennedy and Bailey.
Good evening. I am so honored and humbled to receive this Emma L. Bowen Humanitarian Community Leadership Award. I want to thank the Board of Directors, the co-chairs, the staff, and everyone involved in this wonderful evening, and also for the work that you provide the community. You know, as an athlete, it was most important after all of the training and all of the trials and tribulations, but the awards and wins too. The most important thing I did was if I went out and made a mistake, I got back up and kept going. These are the skills that are very important that we try to teach our young people through gymnastics. But most importantly, we realize we're a community together, and when people need help, someone's got to be there to provide it. And the community center is amazing at doing that. So because of the great work that you do, I am so honored to be recognized. I want to, of course, send out my congratulations to the other honorees, and I wish you have a wonderful evening.
There you go. Thank you so much. Please join me in welcoming Community Leadership Award honoree Wendy Hilliard. Good evening, Wendy, and congratulations.
Glad to be here.
Wendy, I like what you said. We fall down, but we get up. I mean, a lot of hard work and dedication goes into training. I was an athlete myself, but you know, you were the first African American to represent the United States in rhythmic gymnastics?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, being the first is historic, but what was that like?
You know, when you're an athlete, you're really just thinking about your sport. But it came with its challenges, of course. I mean, oftentimes I was the only, Black in the country. Oftentimes I did a lot of international competition. And one time they were choosing the team to go to the next World Championships, and they didn't put me on the team, which everyone was shocked. But I asked the coach, how come you didn't pick me? She says, when do you stand out too much? And I was like, I was blown away. But it also taught me back then, and this is in the 1980s, that you have to sometimes be an advocate and you just have to keep fighting. And I think that's kind of what we're talking about this evening. It's always a good fight, and you just got to keep on fighting.
Yeah, and you've created a tremendous foundation also, which continues to introduce gymnastics to thousands of urban children year in and year out. Do you have a Simone Biles in the wings?
All of the little gymnasts are like Simone Biles. Simone is an exceptional, one-of-a-kind athlete, but what she's done is inspired all these young people to achieve very, very high. She is just, she supports what we do, and we're so grateful for that. But mainly, it's her example of excellence that inspires all these young people. And, we might have another Simone Biles or Gabby Douglas, but I just want them just to work hard and to do their best that they can do.
Yeah. Well, you'll let us know, right, if that's going to come to fruition?
Of course.
You're working, right? Wendy, thank you so much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Robert Jackson, and I'm the state senator representing the 31st Senatorial District of Manhattan, from Marble Hill down to Chelsea. And I want to congratulate tonight's honorees for their amazing work in both their chosen careers and in their advocacy efforts. You are all doing great work, and I'm proud of you. And I also want to congratulate the Emma L. Bowen Community Service Center for all the support they provide for our neighbors in Northern Manhattan. Your programming is a gold standard for connecting community and giving people the tools they need to uplift themselves. I am proud to stand with you. In unity, there is strength. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Special thanks to our senator. We always see him out there throughout the community with his sleeves rolled up, doing some great things. Thank you, Senator Jackson, for your warm welcome and congratulatory greetings. For the past 2 years, the senator has served as the keynote speaker at the graduation ceremonies. He's always like that. Like I said, he's always there. He'll show up and he'll do his thing. He's been doing it for the Bowen Center adults who have successfully battled addiction. And his messages of encouragement during those ceremonies are always inspiring. So once again, we thank you, Senator. 2020 will be a year not soon forgotten. To date, over 222,000, it just keeps going up. 222,000 individuals have been lost to COVID-19 in the United States alone. Sadly, as with many families across the country, the Bowen Center family lost some of its beloved members to this terrible virus. Diana Denny's mentor and friend, Robert Crawford, would like to pause for a moment so we can all remember those who have been lost to COVID-19. We'd also like to take this time to remember other Bowen friends and family members from the center and supporters as well. We've lost a lot of them recently. Let's pause. And now here's Alfred Johnson Reagan with a beautiful rendition of Amazing Grace.
For more than 35 years, Mark Goldsmith was an in-demand cosmetics executive who rose through the ranks of some of the industry's top companies, including Coty, Revlon, Yves Saint Laurent, Shiseido, and Almay, before starting his own bartering company, exchanging inventories and commodities for media. A civic-minded businessman, Mr. Goldsmith first visited Rikers Island over 17 years ago as a volunteer principal for the day at the Horizon Academy. By the end of the day, corrections officers remarked that they couldn't believe how intently the young men were listening to a white guy in a suit. He immediately saw the potential for success in these young men and knew that if they received proper, practical direction, as well as tools including education and job readiness training, they could create stability in their lives upon their reentry into their communities. While working out of a Starbucks, Mr. Goldsmith continued to use his experiences and successes from the corporate world to mentor young men who had been incarcerated until he was able to raise enough funding to open his first office in East Harlem. Since then, GOSO has established a robust reentry program focusing on workforce development that features an educational unit run by the New York City Department of Education and supportive counseling and social services delivered by a team of licensed social workers. The 3 E's, education, employment, and emotional well-being, have remained the signature focus of the program from its onset. Serving more than 1,000 young men every year, GOSO has become a leader in preventing justice involvement by collaborating with community partners, public defenders, and the courts to assist young men who have had contact with the criminal system. GOSO now includes a paid internship to employment program that places young men in businesses throughout New York City. Since its advent, GOSO has helped more than 10,000 justice-involved and formerly incarcerated young men. Their recidivism rate of the young men that they have served is under 15%, far lower than the national average of over 65% for similar young men ages 16 to 24. Additionally, for the past 3 years, GOSO has overseen Stand Against Violence East Harlem, or SAVE, a dedicated team that advances an anti-violence message that connects participants to supportive services, job training, employment opportunities, mental health services, as well as legal services, with the aim of reducing gun violence in East Harlem. Mr. Goldsmith served as an advocate for criminal justice reform at a recent meeting with the top reentry organizations at the White House that led to the successful bipartisan passage of the Criminal Justice Reform Act. He has been recognized for his decades of leadership and stalwart commitment to using his life experiences to help young people stay out of the criminal justice system. He is the recipient of numerous awards for his social entrepreneurship, including Mutual of America's Community Partnership Award and the Encore Purpose Prize. Mark Goldsmith retired from GOSO in 2020 after many years of service and remains founder and CEO emeritus. His motto at GOSO was always, "It's all about the guys."
Since being advised that I was going to be honored by the Bowen Center, I've been doing my homework on them, and I can tell you that I have been amazed by the breadth of services that they provide, because they really do recognize the dignity and the humanity of those who struggle with mental health issues. They serve over 30,000 clients a year, ranging from children to elder care, starting with therapeutic preschool to caring for the elderly, including a halfway house, health clinic, and food pantry. They're the best example that I have ever seen of an agency caring for both the youth as well as the elderly in the same community. So I want to thank Bowen again for this award, and also thank you for honoring me along with my favorite weather person in all New York City, Janice Huff. Congratulations to you also, Janice.
Goldsmith has worn many hats, and now he's wearing the Emma L. Bowen Humanitarian Medal. Mark, welcome and congratulations. Hey, Mark, I wanted to go back to the very beginning where we heard in your incredible bio that getting out and staying out was born from your first visit to Rikers Island as a volunteer principal for a day at Horizon Academy. I'm curious as to what prompted you to volunteer in that capacity in the first place.
Well, actually, I have a secret weapon called my wife, Dr. Arlene Goldsmith, and she's the one who suggested that I become principal for the day because she knows I get along very well with young people. And so it was really at her behest that I went to Rikers to begin with.
Yeah, so behind every great man is a great woman.
Absolutely. That's what I tell my guys all the time. Marry up, guys.
Hey, Mark, let's talk about the 3 E's: education, employment, and emotional well-being, and how they play a fantastic role in helping GOSO participants. How does it work?
Well, the thing that interested me most starting out was really employment, because I felt that jobs were something that these guys could use to get ahead. And this very simple rule of getting in early, leaving late, showing up on time, and just working really hard. So that it was really employment that I focused on to begin with. I ran into education at Rikers Island because the alternative school system had a high school there run by a principal named Gloria Ortiz, who actually founded it about 15, 20 years ago. And that is how education became part of it. And then when I got out and started in GOSO, the Department of Education actually started a site at GOSO. So then I had education and employment. But now I have to go back to my secret weapon. Actually, she's here with me right now. Dr.
There she goes.
There she is. And what she told me is the mental health issues that you're going to run into are so great. It turns out almost 50% of the guys have mental health issues, that I needed to get only licensed social workers. So if you don't have a master's degree in social work, you can't work at GOSO, because if you don't handle that emotional end, the other two are never going to work. So that's how the 3 E's work in Combine, and it's been that way, Bob, since the very beginning.
Well, Mark, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for all that you're doing, and thank you to your secret weapon. There you go, wave that hand again. And congratulations once again. Thank you for creating a remarkable organization.
Thank you.
Signature drink for the evening: Spoon Bread Punch. I've got some right here. Ooh, you got to try this. Spoon Bread Punch from our friends at Miss Mamie's Spoon Bread 2 restaurant. She's got it going on. I remember working with Hal Jackson's Talented Teens contestants, and he brought a bunch of them in there, some of the contestants, and she fed and took care of everybody. We thank you so much. I want to take a quick moment while I'm still savoring the taste there to thank tonight's partner sponsor, Desiree and Company CPAs, as well as our fellow sponsors, the Emma L. Bowen Foundation for Minority Interest and Media, Ghetto and DeMillie Incorporated, PepsiCo, Ponce Bank, Tech Document Solutions, and Tigris Financial Partners. Thank you guys so much. You know, the Bowen Center has an incredible network of supporters that it is eternally grateful for. Earlier this year, the center received a very special donation from a church located in Europe that discovered its services and programs from the internet. Special gifts like that are rare, but are beyond appreciated. Then there are supporters who commit to making small monthly donations. Those individuals are part of the Bowen Center's $25 Club, which consists of supporters who make a monthly donation of $25 or more. If you'd like to join the Bowen Center's $25 Club of monthly sustainers, plus you can click the donate button. It's a link to set up your recurring monthly donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mark Levine, City Council member, Chair of the City Council Health Committee, and I'm just thrilled to be part of this event in support of the Emma Bowen Center. I'm sorry we're not together in person this year, but nonetheless, it's so critical that we do come together to support this vital nonprofit that is carrying on the legacy of Miss Emma, who was ahead of her time in lifting up the work of mental health, though she didn't call it that, and really sending the message that every person is precious in our neighborhood and deserves respectful and well-resourced care. And that's exactly what the Emma Balance Center is providing today in West Harlem and beyond. It's needed more than ever as we continue the difficult pandemic, which has only made mental health problems more acute for everybody. And so thank you for the services that you're providing in our community. And I'm also thrilled that you are honoring some amazing leaders tonight, two of whom are people that I admire and deeply respect. Wendy Hillard, who has been a leader in the world of sport, nationally and internationally, in helping bring a whole generation of young people into the sport of gymnastics, diversifying that sport and bringing the benefits of gymnastics to kids uptown, for the health benefits, the self-esteem, and opening up new worlds that this great sport can allow for people who pursue it. So thank you, Wendy, for your leadership and your friendship. And to Dr. Uche Blackstock, who has emerged as one of the most important voices nationally during this pandemic, first and foremost as a frontline doctor who has treated many COVID patients, and as a leader in academic medicine, and someone who has been a critical voice on the equity challenges that this pandemic has highlighted and exacerbated. Dr. Blackstock really is one of the people that I turn to every single day as this pandemic unfolds to understand the medical implications and the justice implications. So thank you, Dr. Blackstock, for your friendship and for your work during this difficult time. Everyone who's supporting the Emma Bowen Center, I want to thank you for your contributions. And I want to give a shout out to Pat Jordan for your leadership of this incredible nonprofit, and to my friend Lawrence Fowler for his representation and his work in the community more broadly. So thanks to everybody behind this event and this important nonprofit. Be safe, everyone. Thanks so much.
Dr. Uche Blackstock is a board-certified emergency medicine physician caring for patients on the front lines of the COVID-19 crisis, as well as advocating for them in her role as founder and CEO of Advancing Health Equity, which partners with healthcare and related organizations to address racial health disparities. Dr. Blackstock was formerly an associate professor in the Department of Emergency Medicine and the faculty director for recruitment, retention, and inclusion in the Office of Diversity Affairs at NYU School of Medicine. In December 2019, after 10 years on faculty, she departed NYU to focus on advancing health equity. Her writing has been featured in the Chicago Tribune, Scientific American, The Washington Post, and Stat News for the Boston Globe. Dr. Blackstock received both her undergraduate and medical degrees from Harvard University.
Hi everyone, I am Dr. Uche Blackstock. I am founder and CEO of Advancing Health Equity. My organization works with healthcare organizations to combat racism in healthcare and to eradicate racial health inequities. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the Emma Bowen Community Service Center for this esteemed honor. All the work that I do is really in memory of my mother, the late Dr. Dale Blackstock, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, who worked for many years at Kings County Hospital, taking care of her own neighbors. And so I am continuing my mother's legacy through the work that I do, clinically caring for patients in central Brooklyn, but also working with healthcare organizations to address these profound racial health inequities that have been exposed by this pandemic. Again, thank you very, very much for this honor. I am deeply grateful.
Speaking of the Community Leadership Award, please join me in welcoming the newest recipient of the award, Dr. Uche Blackstock. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Brooklyn's in the house.
Yes.
Thank you for all the wonderful work that you're doing, and congratulations. First, on behalf of myself and all of New Yorkers, and thank you for being on the front lines during those very dark days, you know, frontline workers risking their lives and sometimes losing their lives to help others go on living their lives. We appreciate you. Can't thank you enough. Can you share a little bit about those dark days and your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for asking. And again, thank you for this award. I'm truly honored. Yeah, those days, they weren't too long ago, but they were full of, a lot of memories of patients who many of them were essential workers and service workers. Many of them took public transportation, so they were essentially placed at risk for being infected. And I remember their faces, I remember their family members, I remember how scared they were. And I would say that for myself as a physician, I never have been afraid to go to work until last March was the first time. And so, we've come a long way since then. We have a long way to go. And we're still in the thick of the pandemic. And so I just, I really hope that, our public health departments continue to do the work that they need to do around testing, contact tracing, and messaging. And we just have to take care of each other, in our communities, mutual aid, do what we need to do to get through this, because we will get through this.
Yeah. Dr. Uche, tell us, a lot of people seem to be sort of complacent, and you look around, people are wearing their mask under their chin, under their nose, and sometimes you don't see them with it on at all. Then that social distancing thing, they kind of forgot. What do you tell these people who are still, practicing, just going out? And I understand it. They want to go back to normalcy, some sort of normalcy, and we all want that. But what do you tell them?
I understand as well. I understand that many of us have pandemic fatigue. We want to get back to life as normal. We want to be close to our family. This is an incredibly challenging time. But what I will say is that this virus has, truly humbled me in terms of the devastation that I've seen. We've seen that our communities have been, decimated and continue to be decimated by this virus. And so we all have to be humbled by it. And so we know that there's some basic preventive measures that actually work. So wearing those masks, although they can be uncomfortable, wearing them, it actually helps. It helps you if you're sick from infecting someone else. And if you're not sick, it helps you from being infected. The physical distancing, the washing of hands, it all works if we all, cooperate and do it collectively. There is power in numbers. And so we have to do that in order to take care of ourselves, our families, and our communities.
Thank you for that, doctor. In addition to treating patients, you're working just as hard to address health inequality through your organization, Advancing Health Equity. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with that and what you're
Yes, thank you. And so some of my concerns were around workforce diversity in healthcare, as well as addressing racism and bias in healthcare. And so I work with a variety of organizations, departments of health, healthcare systems around addressing unconscious bias and systemic racism in healthcare, because we've seen how this pandemic has exposed pre-existing racial inequities and even exacerbated them. And so the work that I do right now is incredibly timely. I also have had the opportunity to receive an unrestricted fund, which I'm going to use to help support 2 community-based organizations that are on the ground doing health equity work as well, because our community-based organizations are the organizations that really are the trusted members of the community, and the ones that are already doing the work to make a difference, but we have to support them.
Well, doctor, I understand that you have a twin. I want to thank you and your twins. There's 2 people that look like you. Oh. Well,
yes,
you're both doctors, right?
Yes. The other Dr. Blackstock. Yes. And so she's actually watching right now. She sends her regards.
Doctors, thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. Doctor,
thank you.
Doctor, what's your sister's name? The first name?
Oni. Oh, she just put a note in the chat. Dr. Oni Blackstock. She's there watching.
Thank you, Dr. Blackstock.
Okay.
For all that you're doing. And again, congratulations.
I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Mr. Willie Black is the former chairman of the New Amsterdam Musical Association. It's the oldest association of professional Black musicians. He's also a world-class saxophonist. know, the saxophone is the closest instrument to the human voice. He's a flutist also, and the leader of the Willie Mack Band, and tonight featuring Miss Antoinette Adams. Here we go. Let's take it away.
Impatient to be free. So I told a friendly star, okay, that dreamers often do. Just how wonderful you are, and why I'm so in love with you.
Good evening. My name is Tom Haggerty, and I'm the Executive Director of the Emma L. Bowen Community Service Center. Denzel Washington once said, "At the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you have accomplished. It's about who you have lifted up, who you have made better. It's about what you have given back." We are so happy you have joined us on a night when we honor the legacy of our founder, Miss Emma Bowen. There are a lot of people we need to thank for making this evening possible. Our dedicated event committee, headed by our board chair, Ms. Patricia Jordan, board of directors members, Paul Buccini and Victor Rodriguez, committee members, Mr. Larry Fowler and Ms. Ida Morris. To our incredible staff, you are Ms. Bowen's true champions. Your dedication and commitment to our clients is the foundation for the caring environment that she envisioned. Lastly, to our donors and supporters new and old, you make it possible for the Bowen Center to continue to grow and expand its services. Thank you.
Sonia Loaiza is determined and equipped with the life skills necessary to overcome her past and build a bright future. Her time as a resident of Bowen's Able House played a significant role in writing the path that lay before Sonia. Prior to earning admission to Able House, the Bowen Center's recovery residence, Sonia experienced numerous hardships. Family instability prompted her to develop unhealthy coping mechanisms and dependency issues. Sonia found herself in unhealthy relationships and suffered abuse, unable to recognize her own self-worth and lacking a support system to empower her to walk away. Strained relationships with family took their toll on Sonia's health, which further complicated her ability as a single mother to care for her 3 children or her younger sister, who came to live with Sonia when their mother's own illness precluded her from being a caregiver. Sonia's life was like a roller coaster, emotional highs and lows. When she found herself so sick that she could no longer report to work and was homebound, her confidence spiraled. She eventually suffered a traumatic seizure. This frightful experience would turn out to be the pivotal moment Sonia needed to commit to personal rehabilitation. After hospitalization, she was encouraged to apply for residency at Able House to benefit from a comprehensive system of services, including recovery counselors, that would support her and empower her to move forward. Understandably, Sonia was hesitant to enter a residence of 19 other individuals, also on a personal journey of recovery. But in these co-residents, she found kindred spirits, motivators, and an invaluable support system. Sonia's stay at Able House was a critical step on her larger journey to health and self-sustainability. There is a lot to be accomplished still, Sonia says today, but if I was able to come this far, it means there is hope.
And thank you, Mr. Mack and his incredible band for that amazing performance. It's the Willie Mack Band featuring Antoinette Adams. Fantastic job. We applaud you. And thanks to Tom Haggerty for your leadership of the Bowen Center's extraordinary staff. And isn't Sonia a remarkable woman? She has been sober now for 34 months and continues to maintain a healthy and productive life. Thanks to Sonia and Diana for sharing their powerful stories of recovery with us this evening. Thank you.
I am Gail Brewer, Manhattan Borough President, and I want to congratulate all of tonight's award winners. Thank you for your contributions to our community. You are in great company. Previous winners include Mayor David Dinkins and former Manhattan Borough Presidents C. Virginia Fields and the very, very great Percy Sutton. Tonight you join the ranks of legends, and it is well deserved. Congratulations to everyone.
Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer. She's been one of Bowen Center's greatest champions over the years, and we thank her for being with us this evening. Our final award presentation goes to New York City icon. You all know her, we watch her, NBC4 New York meteorologist Janice Huff.
One of the nation's most recognized and trusted weather forecasters, Janice Huff serves as chief meteorologist for NBC4 New York, delivering accurate and informative weather reports to tri-state viewers for the station's 5, 6, and 11 p.m. newscasts. A member of the New York State Broadcasters Association's Hall of Fame, Ms. Huff has been regularly recognized for her professional contributions to broadcast journalism and to the field of meteorology. This year, Ms. Huff celebrated her 25th anniversary with NBC4 New York and was inducted as a Fellow of the American Meteorological Society. She has also been awarded the prestigious Alan B. Dumont Broadcaster of the Year Award from Montclair State University. Known for her passion for supporting children in foster care, Ms. Huff was the longtime host of Wednesday's Child, a quarterly adoption feature known for shining a bright spotlight on foster children and families. She has received numerous accolades for her work on Wednesday's Child, including being honored by 1199 SEIU, Employer Child Care Corporation, for her dedication to children in the New York City area and to children around the world. In 2011, Ms. Huff was recognized by Family Focus Adoption Services for her work on behalf of adoptable children in the New York City area through Wednesday's Child. Ms. Huff was recognized in 2012 by CASA, the New York City court-appointed special advocates, for her dedication to foster care children. She works with CASA NYC to help protect the needs and well-being of children in foster care, making sure that they are placed in safe, permanent homes. A mentor to young journalists throughout her career, Ms. Huff believes strongly in giving back to the community. She was honored by McDonald's as one of 24 esteemed Black media legends. Additional awards also include the YWCA of New York City's W Award, as well as the New York Chapter National Black Journalists Association's Community Service Award and the Golden Apple Award from the New York City Chapter of American Women in Radio and Television. A native of Manhattan, Ms. Huff graduated from Florida State University at Tallahassee with a major in meteorology. She is married and resides in New Jersey.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janice Huff, coming to you virtually from the NBC studios at 30 Rock. I just want to say thank you so much for this incredible honor, the Humanitarian Award. And I want to thank everyone at Emma Bowen for honoring me and honoring Wednesday's Child. I know we all wish we could all be together in the same room celebrating each other, but we know it's been difficult times. It's been a very difficult year, and we just hope and pray that in another year we can all be back together again, celebrating one-on-one and in person. Wednesday's Child has been an extremely special project for me during my years here at NBC. I was the host for 20 years, and it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my career because it changes lives. It brings families together. It brings love to children who are looking for permanent homes. And it's made a difference in their lives. We've featured probably 600 or 700 children, and more than 300 have been adopted over the 20 years. And I've seen what love can do in a child's life, how it changes everything. And so I'm very proud of this project and everything that we've done to help these children in New York City. And I'm so honored that you would honor me with such a prestigious award. I want to say congratulations to all the fellow honorees. I hope I get to meet you sometime in person. But until then, thank you again from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that to see you all another year, maybe together again as well. Stay safe out there, everybody.
NBC4's Janice Huff over at 30 Rock. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you and we appreciate you. And we certainly hope that you'll be able to join us next year. I hope you'll agree that this has been a wonderful and uplifting evening. I'm not sure that I can thank you enough, but I think I know who can.
Thank you for all you've done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you for all you've done.
Yes, and thanks to our students of the Bowen Center's preschool program for that wonderful, wonderful performance. Before I say goodnight, I'd like to once again thank the Bowen Center for honoring me and allowing me to serve as the master of ceremonies at this incredible broadcast. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share in this space and time with you. I hope you were able to learn a bit about the Bowen Center and its wonderful programs and its wonderful services, and it can help how it can help thousands of individuals every year. The Bowen Center, as you well know, is a 501c3 nonprofit community-based organization licensed by the New York Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, New York State Office of Mental Health, New York State Alcoholism and Substance Abuse Service, and New York State Department of Education. For additional information and to stay informed with everything happening at the Bowen Center, please visit their website at www.bowencenter.org. bowencsc.org. BOWENCSC.org. And sign up for their bi-monthly newsletter. Thank you all for joining us. The incredible Willie Mack Band featuring Antoinette Adams will play us out. But before that, always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. On behalf of everyone here at the Emma L. Bowen Community Service Center, thank you and good night.